family. Good morning. Happy Saturday. I hope you have a beautiful day. I'm finna share some news. I hope it's true. If this is true, we finna be blessed. Look like Donald Trump is finna send out some checks. Check this out. Allegedly. I hope it's true though.
When will I see my money? Here's what's actually happening. President Trump has authorized a new round of direct payments totaling $2,000 per eligible recipient, with the first distribution scheduled to begin November 1st. But here's where it gets interesting, and where most news outlets are getting it wrong. These aren't your standard stimulus checks. This payment combines two separate programs: traditional economic relief and what the administration is calling tariff dividend rebates. Let me break down exactly what that means for your bank account. The tariff rebates come from revenue collected on imported goods, particularly from China. Instead of keeping this money in government coffers, the administration is returning a portion directly to American citizens. Think of it as your share of the tariff collections. The stimulus portion addresses ongoing economic pressures that haven't disappeared: rising grocery costs, increasing medical expenses, and utility bills that seem to climb every month. Let me explain exactly who qualifies for these payments, because there's been a tremendous amount of confusion out there. And frankly, some of that confusion is deliberate. The mainstream media hasn't done a great job clarifying this, so I'm going to walk you through every detail you need to know. First off, if you're currently receiving Social Security benefits, whether that's retirement benefits, disability benefits, or SSI, you're automatically in the eligibility pool. But there's more to it than just getting a monthly Social Security check. Your income from the previous tax year matters significantly here. And this is where a lot of folks are getting tripped up. The income thresholds work like this. If you filed as a single individual and your adjusted gross income was below $75,000, you're looking at the full $2,000 payment. For married couples filing jointly, that threshold jumps to $150,000. Now, I know what you're thinking. Most retirees aren't anywhere near those income levels, and you're absolutely right. The average Social Security recipient brings in somewhere around $20,000 to $30,000 annually, which means the vast majority of seniors will qualify without any reduction whatsoever. But here's something crucial that almost nobody is talking about. If your income falls between those thresholds and higher limits, you'll still get a payment. It just gets reduced on a sliding scale. Single filers earning up to $99,000 and married couples up to $198,000 will receive partial payments. Now let's talk about the tariff rebate component specifically, because this is genuinely innovative policy, regardless of how you feel about the politics. The United States has collected billions of dollars in tariff revenue over the past few years, particularly from Chinese imports. We're talking about tariffs on everything from electronics to clothing to machinery. When you buy something that was manufactured overseas and imported into this country, there's often a tariff attached to it. Those tariffs get paid by the importing companies, but let's be honest, they usually get passed along to consumers through higher prices. The administration's position is that American citizens essentially paid these tariffs through increased costs, so Americans should receive a dividend from the revenue collected. It's similar to how Alaska gives residents a portion of...
Okay, we're gonna skip this and we're going straight to how non Social Security recipients receive their money.
November, possibly early December, before this payment will also come as a paper check, mailed to the address the Social Security Administration has on file for you. And you should see the deposit within the first 2 weeks of November if everything proceeds on schedule. The Social Security Administration has your banking information on file already, so there's nothing additional you need to do. You don't need to call anyone, you don't need to fill out forms, you don't need to verify anything. The payment will simply appear in your account and you'll likely receive a notice in the mail explaining the deposit either right before it arrives or shortly after. For folks who receive their Social Security benefits as paper checks in the mail, your stimulus payment will also come as a paper check, mailed to the address the Social Security Administration has on file for you. Now, here's where timing gets a bit trickier. Paper checks take longer to process and mail naturally. Category of recipients that doesn't get talked about as much. And that's people who aren't currently receiving Social Security, but who filed a tax return for the most recent tax year. If you're under retirement age but meet the income requirements, you'll receive your payment based on the direct deposit information from your tax return. If you didn't provide direct deposit information when you filed, the IRS will mail a paper check to the address on your return. This group includes younger retirees who aren't yet collecting Social Security, people with disabilities who are in the application process, and working Americans whose income fell within the eligibility thresholds. Now, I want to address
So, if anything have changed, your bank account information or your address have changed from last year where you received your income tax check, you need to be contacting or Google and find out how do you update that and provide that information so you can still get your check on time.
that's causing significant anxiety for a lot of people. And that's the question of whether this payment will affect your other benefits. This is critically important, so please pay close attention. The $2,000 payment is classified as a tax rebate and economic relief payment, which means it does not count as income for the purposes of determining eligibility for federal benefit programs. Let me say that again in plain English. This money will not reduce your Social Security benefits. It will not affect your Medicare coverage. It will not impact your Medicaid eligibility if you have that, and it will not count against you for supplemental security income purposes. The payment is explicitly excluded from income calculations across all federal programs. This was a huge concern during previous stimulus rounds, and the administration made sure to address it clearly this time. Is not taxable income for this year. You will not pay federal income tax on the $2,000 you receive. But here's the nuance. The payment is technically an advance on tax credits, which means when you file your taxes next year, there could be interactions with your refund or tax liability depending on your specific situation. For most seniors with straightforward tax situations, this won't matter at all. Your taxes next April will look essentially the same as they always do. But if you have a more complex financial picture with significant investment income or other sources of money coming in, you might want to consult with a tax professional to understand how this payment fits into your overall tax strategy. Let me talk about what you should actually do with this money.
Okay, family. If this is true, this sounds like some good news for us. So Donald Trump is coming through. So tell me how you feel about this. Do you believe it? Are you excited? Do you feel that Donald Trump is looking out for Americans? Like, share, comment. I will respond to your comments. Like my video for me, family, please. It helps me out a lot. And share the video if you agree. Yay! Hopefully we can see some money in our bank accounts. I'll let you know if it's true. Okay. Love y'all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.